This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
So welcome to another edition of Power Players, where we talk to the most influential people in their respective industries. And today we have none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Nick Taylor from Z104 Z Morning Zoo. What's going on, Nick?
Not much, man. Just living the life, living the dream, and I'm glad to be on the show.
Good, man. We're glad to have you, man. Always a great person to talk to. So today we're going to let the people kind of get to know you in a little bit more, let's just say, intimate light.
Okay.
So
You're scaring me right now.
Yeah. So we're gonna let the people get intimate with you today. So let me ask you, for those that don't know who you are right now, who are you and what do you do?
I'm the host of the Z Morning Zoo, which is on Monday through Friday, 5:30 to 10 on Z104. On a morning show, you usually have like three positions. You have like the driver, who pushes all the buttons, plays all the songs, and kind of guides the show. You have a co-pilot, who's usually a woman, that's Trisha. And then you have like kind of like the kid that's in the back seat that keeps mouthing off that Shaggy, of course. So I'm the driver of the Z Morning Zoo, and I love it. It's a great job.
Great. So how long have you been doing it?
I've been doing the Z Morning Zoo, I think it's been over 10 years now, but I've been in radio almost 2 decades, which is scary because that's a long time.
And that is a long time for radio. A lot of people don't have that longevity that you have, so you obviously must be doing something right to maintain that great position. So let me ask you, what influenced you to be into radio?
Well, I grew up in the 80s, and a lot of kids that grow up, they idolize their favorite sports stars, and they know statistics. He's had so many home runs this season, or he shoots this percentage, or something like that. For me, when you grew up in the 80s, music stars were like gods, man. You think I grew up in the era of Madonna, Michael Jackson, and Prince, and these people were the superstars of the era. So for me, it's like, my statistics that I kept in my head was so many #1 records, or so many sold out tours, or this album and this single and all that. So I was crazy about music since I was a little kid, although I never played an instrument. So I guess I thought growing up that music, my passion for music, musicians, was just going to be a hobby and never would turn out to be something I could do professionally. And then you discover, oh wow, I can turn my passion into a career. Without playing any music. I can't even read a sheet of music. I don't even know how to read notes. So I never thought it'd be a career, and then somebody said, you should be a radio host since you know all of this stuff. And just a light bulb went off in my head, and I thought, that's definitely it. And now I feel like I have a dream job. I do what I love, and I love what I do.
Right, and that's very important. I hope a lot of people were really paying attention to it, that it's important to follow what you really love, and you're living proof that, following your dreams and doing what you really want can pay off and pay big dividends.
Yeah, let me tell you, Dante, the biggest luxury that I've learned that you can have in life is when your passion is your job. And there's so few people who get this opportunity. Athletes, you take LeBron James. He loves playing basketball. He also gets paid a lot of money for it. You take like someone who's like a Beyonce. She loves singing and performing. She also gets paid for it. For me, I love talking about music and talking to people and being silly and prank calling people and stuff like that. These are the things I love. I also get paid for it. Not everybody has their passion coincide with their job, but if you can get that, it's the greatest luxury in the world, and it means more than a paycheck, and you won't care how much you get paid because you will love what you do. It's a great luxury to have.
So if you weren't doing this, kind of give me an idea of what some of the things that you think you might be doing.
This is gonna blow your mind, okay? Because I've thought about this, because people often ask me, if you weren't in radio, what would you do? I think maybe I would try stand-up comedy, because as scary as radio is, stand-up comedy is even scarier. Radio, you're on a microphone. You don't see your audience looking back at you. Stand-up comedy, if you tell a joke and it dies, there's 50, 60 people right in front of you who will let you know immediately. That stunk. So that would be one thing, and this is the other thing that will completely blow your mind. I've never told anybody this, so you're the first person to know this. I always thought I would be a good interior decorator. I don't know. I know it sounds crazy, but I've had bachelor pads throughout my life as a bachelor. And everybody who's come over to my bachelor party said, well, this is the coolest looking place I've ever been. Everything is so cool in here, and you designed this. And so I tend to think that I'm a good decorator. I don't know if a lot of people would agree with me. I might be horrible. I've never tried it, but those were the two things. If I wasn't in radio, I would probably try.
That's a pretty good alibi. So if you ever caught like breaking and entering someone's home, you could just say it was R&D, and you're working on your craft after radio.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So I got a free alibi out of that. So.
Good. So I know you work with a lot of people, and you said the reason that you got into it because you kind of idolize the stars, and you can, kind of keep tabs on them. In radio, if there was a couple of people that you could work with, if you could just pick your dream cast. I know you love working with Trisha, Shaggy, and now Ashley. Welcome to the show. But if you could pick some people that you could work with, who would you want to work with?
Number one on the list, and a lot of people who are younger won't know this name, but for me growing up, I idolized Casey Kasem. Now,
wow.
I don't know if a lot of younger people will even know who Casey Kasem is, but he was equal to Dick Clark. He was kind of like the Ryan Seacrest before Ryan Seacrest, and I always thought it was crazy that Casey Kasem is a Lebanese guy. Okay, I'm Lebanese. He's Lebanese, and I remember looking up to him and go, wow, he's made quite a career for himself. He was so good at what he did. He was that guy who knew everything about all the stars and music and all that, and he had that killer voice. Oh man, he had such a great voice where it's like the minute you turn on the radio, the minute you heard Casey Kasem, you knew exactly who it was. And he's the first person I know that turned being a radio host into being a celebrity. I don't think before him, people considered radio host celebrity. He was the first one to do that. So definitely Casey Kasem.
And it's funny you mentioned your heritage about being Lebanese. And one thing that we really kind of look at you as is one of those guys that can go to any type of environment and just kind of fit in without like trying. You know how some people, they look like they're reaching. How do you think that you're able to do that so well?
You just have to be yourself, and you have to keep it real. Here's the thing, when you have accomplished a lot for yourself in life and you get to a plateau where you can say, I don't care what people think about me, and you can mean it. So many people say, well, I don't care what anyone thinks about me, and hater this and hater that, I don't care what they think. A lot of people say that. But when you've accomplished enough in your life, you can say it and you can mean it. At that point in your life, you can walk into any room and be yourself, and people still respect real. I'm not gonna go into one club and be one type of person, and go into another club and be another type of person. I'm gonna be myself in both places. And people may not be down with your vibe. They may think, wow, that's the craziest kid I've ever seen, or what is he doing here, that kind of thing. But they will respect the fact that you're the same person with this group that you are with that group, that you are in this place, that you are in that place. Real respects real, to use that cliche, but it's true.
Right. So, that's a good point that you brought up about being real. So, one thing that people kind of want to know, of course, when you're a celebrity, you talk to millions of people on a daily basis. Of course, people are going to want to know more about you. What's one big misconception about you, or one thing that you want people to really know about you?
Here's one misconception about, and I'll say this about us as the Z Morning Zoo radio program, and I hope people realize this. We love, and enjoy when people come up to us, wherever we are, public places, etc., and say, I really enjoy your program, or I listen to you guys every morning, things like that. People have the impression that when we're out in public, we don't want to be bothered. I think they think of us sometimes as some kind of celebrities that, I don't want to go up to him and bother him. I remember when I was single, I would run into people at places and stuff, and they wouldn't say anything, and then they would say, well, you were on a date. I get these emails. You were on a date. I saw you eating dinner, and you were with a girl. I didn't want to come up and say hi. And I remember thinking, why wouldn't you come up and say hi? Don't you know that if I was on a date, that would make me look like I'm some kind of superstar? But here's the thing. We do not get showered with praise everywhere we go. We do not have people everywhere we go telling us, hey, you do a great job in the morning. So as the audience, we need to hear that from you. And we don't hear it enough. So I would say if you ever see us somewhere and you do listen and you like to say, hey, I enjoy you guys every morning, I listen, please do that. Please come up and say, we are not unapproachable people. We love the fact that you listen. We love the fact that you wake up with us every morning, and we would also love it, no matter where we are, if you came up and told us that. So don't think of us as we don't think of ourselves as celebrities at all. You shouldn't either.
Good. I'm glad you said that, because that's very important, that, you know, when you do value someone's time and what they do for you, to let them know, because sometimes they don't know. And one thing that, you know, that really bothered me when, you know, trying to do a great job is that I wanted to know what motivated people in order for me to do a great job. So one thing that a lot of people want to know from you is what motivates you every day, because I know you're one of the most consistent talents that has been in the area. So how do you get motivated and stay motivated every day to do a great job?
I'm very competitive. I like to win. I like to get good ratings and things like that. But I'm at the point now where I've consistently had good ratings, and so the competitive thing has kind of died down a little. The thing that motivates me every morning is the thought that there's somebody out there listening in their car who is having the worst morning, the worst day, or the worst week of their life. And the thought that they will turn on their radio and hear something that we do, and their entire mood or day will turn around. And they will smile, laugh, be in a good mood, even for a minute, because it's something they heard on our show. It's a really powerful thing to be able to change somebody's life with something you say or do on the radio. It's a powerful thing to be able to know that somebody, their mom just died. They just lost their job. You know, they're down on their luck, and something you do will make them laugh, and they'll say, you just turned my day around. I wasn't smiling until I turned on the radio. That, to me, is the greatest reward of doing what we do.
So right here, you heard it first. Nick Taylor, Z104, Z Morning Zoo, dedicated to doing a great job, dedicated to keeping it real, and also dedicated to his fans. So we want to thank you very much for taking time out of your busy schedule to address the fans, and also for being on Power Players. We definitely appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all having me, but I gotta get back to work, so y'all gotta get out. This is Nick Taylor from the Z Morning Zoo on Z104, and this is Power Players. And this is American Idol.